In today's video, we're going to discuss the brand new OnePlus Nord Buds 2. This is the 2023 edition or refresh edition of the design or the buds that we saw last year, allowing us to still have that great bang for the buck type of an experience, meaning we're going to get great sound but not necessarily too much money. This is TK and this is my review of the brand new OnePlus Nord Buds 2. Let's check them out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. So here we have it, the brand new OnePlus Nord Buds 2. The design very familiar. We have a couple of colors available here. There's the lightning white and the thunder gray. Obviously this one is the white one. And of course, the overall design is pretty much very familiar. The black and blue, very standard Nord coloring. And of course, this is not just going to work with the Nord, it'll work with any device that you're using. It will use the Hey Melody app that's available on the Google Play Store for any non-OnePlus device or even Oppo devices, because this is actually pretty compatible there as well now that we have that branching between ColorOS and Oxygen OS. And of course, overall, just downloading the Hey Melody app for, like, let's say a device like the Pixel 7 Pro that I have here, which I have been testing it with as well, it should be pretty simple. The design that we're looking at here is pretty much a very small, very kind of easy to carry container. The battery capacity has been actually increased to be able to allow us to have up to 36 hours as opposed to the 30 hours last year. The design, very simple, very easy, does not open, charges only via USB-C. We have a nice little pairing button. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that to focus. There's a pairing button right next to the USB-C port. No wireless charging on the bottom. There is information, of course. This will fit in that small pocket in your jeans if you like that. For me, it's been basically in my pocket. And right now, I'll say this. Up to this point, my favorite buds have been the OnePlus Buds, the brand new buds for this year, the Pros. And of course, this is one of the big improvements that we're going to see. How does these stack up to that? Now, last but not least, the rated capacity of the battery in here is 480 milliamperes, which should be able to give us, again, up to 36 hours with active noise cancellation off and up to 27 hours with active noise cancellation on. Now, when it comes down to the design, as I said, it's a very familiar design to what we saw last year. Right and left, pretty easy indicators. And of course, the buds themselves are magnetically placed in here. The case closing is also magnetic, so it does not open up by itself. Very simple, very easy, lightweight, almost easy to forget that you even have them in your ears. Now, the configuration as far as how you're going to be using them, they're going to be touch sensitive. There's no clicking like the OnePlus, the Pro series. So this is going to be basically a touch sensitive area. We have one microphones here, the charging pins as well. And of course, the 12.4 millimeter titanium drivers are still very similar to what we've seen last year and very easy and very iconic kind of a design. Very simple. And one of the biggest thing I'll probably say is they do include additional ear tips in the actual box. Make sure you use the correct ones. I do use the large ones. Out of the box, they do come with the standard medium ones. Once you have them in there, pretty straightforward. You connect them. The orange light tells me that the battery is a little bit low, and then you'll see it right there. The color shift goes back up there. Overall, what we're getting here with the app is pretty straightforward. We can get started and go through the tutorial. Already done it. It's paired right now to my device here. This is the Hey Melody app. You're able to download directly from the Google Play Store. It tells you the battery capacity here for each earbud. They're 100% since they've been charging in the case. We have 3 different levels: active noise cancellation, or noise cancellation essentially, off, or transparency mode to be able to listen to conversation. There is a built-in EQ to this device. If your phone does not support Dolby Atmos, this will automatically kick in, and this is built in directly with the app. Bass wave is what I like to do here. You're able to configure that. You can even add your own custom EQ. The balance mode is obviously the auto mode, bold, serenade, and of course there's the bass heavy, which increases the bass performance on this. Really works very nicely. Game mode will reduce the latency to be able to basically drop you down to that low 94 millisecond experience, and that's going to be the best experience there. There was one update that I did have a chance to install. Version is 108.103. Last but not least, on a Hey Melody app, the configuration is slightly different. You go in directly into the earbud controls. Now, under touch control, this is where you're able to configure the different options on the touch sensitivity. So you have single tap, double tap, triple tap, and press and hold. For me, for press and hold, I decided to switch it over to be more so configured to switch between devices, since I'm able to pair it to 2 different devices. So the OnePlus 11 as well as the Pixel 7 Pro are both connected to it, and we'll see that transfer there. You're able to obviously configure the right and the left. If you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see the tutorial that you had in there. And then of course, after that, you can go in there and just check basically the About app in here. So this is basically what it looks like on this is a Pixel 7 Pro. So this is a non-OnePlus device. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to put the earbuds in my ear, and I'm going to press and hold the button on my left ear. You'll notice right there that it connects and you're able to configure it. You'll go under more, And for this, because this is built into the Oxygen OS or Color OS, you're able to just jump in under the information there. So you'll see here the name of the device, connecting it and unpairing it. We do need to turn on this function to get the AAC media, and it'll just switch over back to the default setting. So overall, just want to make sure to turn that on so you actually get able to get the best performance out of there. Earbud functionality, pretty much straightforward to what you saw before, except that everything is in one page. And again, since the 11 supports Dolby, you're able to also configure the Dolby configuration there. Very straightforward. Earbud controls the volume, the EQ that we talked about before. And here we also have the ability of customizing, the ability to control the camera with a double press on the earbuds when the camera app is open. Also, Find My Earbuds are also set up in here. You're able to configure that. Let's go ahead and go back. We'll go Settings, Allow, and then we're going to go back. And overall, very much a very straightforward experience, as you can imagine. From an audio codec performance, the best experience that you're going to be experiencing here is 24-bit 44 kilohertz running on AAC. This is based on the capacity of what the buds are able to perform. And I'm using actually Amazon Ultra HD to get the best performance from an audio standpoint. Now, as you can imagine, they look very small, but they also feel very light in the ears. So when I have them in there, so it's going to look really good. It's very easy to actually configure them so you can see. Right now I'm looking at you guys, I'm actually kind of looking at myself on my monitor here. They look very nice, and if I turn, very easy, very good. Pick the color that you prefer. Again, they sent me the white one, so this is why I have these. Overall, I probably would have gone with slightly maybe the darker color, but overall it looks really nice. So we're going to go ahead and just start off. This is the touch sensitivity, so if I touch it once, it's going to start the music, and then touch twice, it's going to skip the track. Triple tap goes back. I had to do it a couple times because as it starts the track, it assumes I'm going back to the beginning of that track. So overall, it's very straightforward. Pressing and holding right now, I have it configured again to switch between my Pixel 7 Pro and my OnePlus 11. Now, the other thing I probably will say that, again, the same configuration that I showed you within the notification section works on OPPO devices, since they share a similar code base with Oxygen OS and Color OS sharing a lot of their information. Otherwise, pretty straightforward as far as experience. The active noise cancellation is turned on right now. It does actually work at about 25 dB as far as reducing the ambient sound around you. So it doesn't technically clear out everything, but it reduces it to make it a little bit more comfortable. Transparency mode actually was pretty decent. I was able to have a conversation using them without any problems. And overall, if you just turn it off, that's going to be just normal mode. It does still provide somewhat a small amount of noise reduction from the outside. The reason behind that is we are actually using an in-ear experience as opposed to the over-the-ear. So in-ear, by definition, if you're using the right ear tip, automatically reduces the ambient noise around us. The sound does change depending on what you're using, so let's go ahead and actually do a quick sample of the audio that's coming from these microphones and show you guys how well and how nice this price point is giving us for us when it comes down to audio performance. So we went outside to do a quick test of the audio of the microphones that we have here on the new Buds 2. This should be a pretty good example of what you should expect. Again, battery life is really decent. Sound is actually pretty good depending on the device that you're connecting. If you have support for Dolby, you'll definitely be able to customize it. If not, it does have a built-in EQ. And of course, some of the functionalities that we see in here. Better drivers, better battery life, of course, improvement. Still at $59. It's crazy how we're able to get this good buds for this price. Now, as you heard there, the sound is actually really good. And I've had a few conversations, few calls, video calls using these buds, and the sound sounded really good and crystal clear. One of the biggest things that I've appreciated overall in the last few years is that the true wireless space has been getting so good that we're starting to see some of these main features that we typically get from more expensive devices, again, with the Pro line that OnePlus released, coming down to the Nord side, which gives us the ability of having that great audio. So it's not only is it great on the microphone, but the sound on this is actually pretty good. I will say though that it is a little bit more bass heavy. It is tuned to give you a good bass experience and you're able to boost it, but out of the box, it does sound like it's a little bit more bass forward than it is, than let's say something like the Pro line where you're able to configure it a little bit more. The performance is pretty good. Battery life is crazy good. The distance on this, again, I've tested it out as usual. I go from one side of the house where I put my buds basically sitting all the way on the other side, or actually the device on the other side, and I walk all the way to the other side of the house with 3 different walls between me, and the audio did not even cut out. So audio connection works really good, and I was testing that out with the Pixel 7 Pro. So just keep in mind that not necessarily a OnePlus device will definitely be the only thing you could use. So the Hey Melody app is available on the Google Play Store. The mids and highs are actually pretty good, not overpowering, but again, the bass I feel like is a little bit more pronounced on these. But definitely great for dance, EDM, rap, anything that gives us the need for more bass and you want to hear it in your ears. This is definitely going to sound really good. For me, the OnePlus Nord Buds 2 are a nice refresh. The price point is still pretty good. And of course, it's going to be something that you can get without necessarily hurting the bank, but still getting a great performance. And of course, great configuration. The ability of using it with the OnePlus camera app is really nice. And of course, the ability of finding it, that's the other option that's also available directly on OnePlus devices or even Oppo devices. So at the end of the day, would I recommend these buds? Absolutely. If you're looking to pick up a brand new pair of buds, but you don't want to break the bank, these are going to do it for you. They're definitely around that space where you're able to get the great bang for the buck from OnePlus. And the refresh for 2023 not only gives us a little bit better battery life, better performance on them, a little bit longer, still has a fast charging. You're able to plug it in for like 10 minutes and get about 5 hours worth of playback, which is really, really nice. So I like the design, and of course I like everything that's provided us here. I hope by watching this video that you found something interesting, and hopefully these buds can fit your lifestyle. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. I'll see you in the next video.